I will. How to deal or cope with your anxiety and depression. Okay, so how can you deal or cope with your anxiety or depression? First of all, you only need to do one thing. For this, you only really need to do one thing, which ties into everything, and that is stop thinking about the past or the future. You feel me? Because that's what's really causing this thing. Like the past, for example, thinking about the past, dwelling on the past, anything negative with the past, especially if it's deep. If it's not that deep, you feel me? It's not gonna cause depression, because we all know depression is that deep sadness. But anything having to do with that is causing a depression. You feel me? Anybody that has done you wrong, any fights, resentments, any past traumas, anything very, very negative in the past. And we have lots of those. So it doesn't have to be like one big ass negative experience. It could be all your negative experiences adding up. You feel me? And all that causes your depression, because you just keep dwelling on it over and over and over again. If you're not thinking about it on a conscious level, if you're not choosing to think about this, you're doing it unconsciously. And it causes you to be depressed. The only reason it causes you to be depressed, because when these thoughts come up, when you start thinking about it on the unconscious level, meaning you don't even know you're thinking about this shit, and you're just thinking about it, right? You're not expressing it. So what are you doing? You're depressing it. Because think about this, right? If you're not expressing that shit, then you're depressing it, because where does the energy go? You can't get rid of the energy, remember? You can only transform that shit. You can never get rid of the energy. You can only transform it. So if you're not out here expressing everything that has happened to you, expressing your pain, you feel me? If you're not out here expressing your pain, finding an outlet. It's like express your pain, whether it's through music, it could be through boxing, working out, content creation, like I'm doing right now. If you're not finding a way to really express yourself out here, it's gonna end up being depressed. And that's where we get deep rest from. All that means is that your body is in deep rest. You've been suppressing it for so long. It's been depressing for so long that your body has become deep. Now your body's in deep rest. Think about it. You suppressed too much. You suppressed it too much. So now your body is in a deep rest mode. That's why it's like extreme sadness. You're so sad that it's like you're down. You feel me? You're deep rest. So yeah, I just need to stop thinking about the past, but it's not so easy. It's like easier said than done. Okay, it's the same thing with anxiety too. I'm not trying to get too caught up into it. I'm gonna explain it more, but not right now. But with anxiety, it's the same thing, but it's the opposite. It's thinking about the future. For example, right? This is a good example. Let's say you're about to get into a fight, right? You're about to get into a fight and you're nervous. You're over here thinking what's happening in the future. Or how about if I lose? Or how about if people make fun of me? Or how about if this? How about if that? How about if this and that? All this thing happen in the future. The fight hasn't even happened yet. The fight didn't even start yet. Nothing has happened yet. But you over here thinking about everything that could go wrong. So the anxiety is not only thinking about the future, but having negative thoughts about the future. You feel me? Like thinking about what could go wrong. So you see how that could fuck you up? But again, the same thing with anxiety, the same thing with depression is with anxiety too. So the thing is, sometimes you are actually. Sometimes you're choosing to think about what's happening in the future, but in a negative way. And we all do this. The past too. Sometimes we choose to think about all of our negative experiences in the past. Like we use our free will and choose to consciously think about everything negative or some things negative that has happened in the past. Or we do this to try to predict the future. You feel me? So people out here even addicted to that. Even that's an addiction. So you're not only battling with your fucking outside addictions or physical addictions, you got mental addictions. You got so much of them too. So it's a motherfucking war out here. But anyways, if you're not thinking about the past and the future in a negative way and consciously, if you're not choosing to do it, shit, you've been doing it for so long consciously that it goes into your unconscious mind, because now it becomes a habit. The subconscious mind, unconscious mind, is the mind of habit. So after growing up in this world and you've been thinking about the past and the future negatively for so long, so much, and having all the type of the same experiences around you, it becomes unconscious. Now you're thinking about the past and future negatively without even knowing that you're doing it. So now it's just fucking you up without even knowing that you're doing it. Alright, so what can you do about this? What's the answer? How do you solve it? You focus on the present. You try. Of course, you're not going to be fucking genius overnight, but you try your best to focus on the present moment, what's happening right now, not the future or the past, right now. Okay, now how can you try to focus on the present moment? Think about it. You focus on the present moment. So basically, for you to like fully focus on the present moment, actually that's going to take some time, but for you to get into focus on the present moment, you need to start practicing focus. So now your ass is going to have to start focusing. And how do you do this? Well, okay, I have some ways right here. I even wrote it down. Some good ways to focus on the present moment. To be honest, to really focus on the present moment is to quiet your mind. Obviously, you can quiet your mind consciously on a conscious level. Like, if you choose not to think, actually, you can't even choose not to think, because if your ass really want to choose not to think, your mind is going to think. But we're not talking about, when I say quiet your mind, yes, it's going to happen on a conscious level, obvious too. But your mind is going to think, which means you're not going to quiet it 100%. It's not going to be total but it's going to be more quiet. You feel me? Like, if I have loud ass music playing right now, I don't have to shut the music down all the way, but I can turn the volume down because it's nighttime and everybody's fucking sleeping. You feel me? So you have to quiet down your mind. Quiet down your mind more. Not totally, because that shit gonna take time. Okay, now what are some ways to do this? Basically, you relieve stress. Do anything that basically relieves stress, that relax, like fucking meditation, mindfulness meditation. Actually, well, mindfulness meditation kind of the same thing, but this is what you could do, right? You could really practice mindfulness. Focus on something. For example, focus on a dot. Take a piece of paper, draw a dot in the middle, draw like a circle, dot, whatever, in the middle of the piece of paper, and just focus on it. Try not to think of nothing. Of course, your thoughts are going to come up. Or what am I going to do the next second? What am I going to do tomorrow? Or I have this and that going on. Of course, they're going to come up. Let them be there. Try to not think about them. Try your very best to focus. Of course, you're not going to get it overnight. You got to practice and practice. After practicing it for so long, you're perfect. Your ass chilling in the present moment. But you have to practice focusing. This is not the only thing obviously you could do. There's many other things you can do to practice focus. If you don't know, search it up. You can meditate. You could do this while you're meditating. Like, you could just get it. You could just meditate. Now we should all know what it means to meditate. Close your eyes. Fucking try to do deep breaths, because the deeper you breathe, the more it calms you, relaxes you. If you can actually get deep enough, your ass gonna start to hallucinate, but we're not gonna get into that right now. But anything that calms you, relaxes you. Like, for example, try to stay alert. This is a good way to stay in the present moment, and yes, it will relax you. For example, look at me right now, right? Right now I'm not really staying alert, because I'm like trying to give this message out. But if I was trying to stay alert, I'll probably stop talking and like try to pick up on everything that's happening around me, around my fucking surroundings, whatever. Like, for example, I wouldn't normally hear a fucking cat outside, or a dog. I wouldn't normally hear something that's like low outside, an animal that's like not making enough noise for me to hear. I would normally hear it, but if I'm trying to stay alert, I'm trying to pick up on what I'm hearing. Now I can hear my fucking dishwasher. You feel me? I'm trying to like focus on everything. But I'm not trying to make it hot though. I'm not trying to like make it obvious. I'm just trying to sit there, trying to hear as much as possible. I'm trying to hear everything. I'm trying to feel everything. I'm trying to like relax, calm, feel any little thing. Like if somebody was to come behind me without even touching me, I would know by the air. The wind will push and I'll feel that shit on my neck and I'll know that person's behind me because I'm so focused. I'm trying to stay alert. I'm trying to hear everything. I'm trying to see everything. You feel me? I'm trying to feel everything. I'm basically trying to use my 5 senses towards everything. I'm trying to stay alert. Another way. Walk in nature or the beach. Like for example, you ever had a long ass stressful day and you go to the beach? Well, that's long ass stressful morning, because if your ass had a long ass stressful day, then it's the end of the day, you better go to bed, whatever. Okay, you ever had a stressful morning or whatever, or just anytime you go to the beach and you walk on the sand, you feel that it relaxes you, right? It relaxes your whole feet, then it goes up to your whole body. It like relaxes. If you really pay attention, it like relaxes your whole body. It calms you down, at least a little bit. It's not OD. It's not gonna be like a whole meditation, but like it relaxes you some. You feel me? You can feel that shit just, even if it's a little bit, it still relaxes you. But you're walking in nature, candles. Ooh, this one of my favorites right here. Candles. Candles gonna relax the shit out you. Or how about this? Since I was talking about focus and mindfulness, you know what you could do? You could try staring at your candle. Like, put your candle in front of you, whatever. Turn off all your lights. It's better to turn off all the lights and keep it dark. At least I think, I don't know. Y'all do what y'all want to do. And like focus on the candle light. Try to do that shit for like 5 to 10 minutes. Because the candle itself is relieving stress. Plus you're focused and you're adding more power to it. You feel me? So now it's going to relieve mad stress. You're going to be mad calm. You're going to be OD zen. You're going to be focused on the present moment. This is when the past can't bother you. The future can't bother you. Or at least it's harder for that influence to bother you. At least it's harder for the bitches to bother you. You feel me? Because you're focused. You're more focused. And this right here can increase the law of attraction and your manifestation, because you're more focused, you're more in tune. But we're going to get into all that later. But yeah, how to get into the present moment. Basically do anything that relaxes you. And remember, you're not going to get straight to the present moment 100%. You're not going to, at first, you're never, even I'm not 100% present. Because to be 100% present, to be 100% present in this moment, it's like enlightenment. I think that's what it means to be enlightenment. Because to be 100% focused is like, it's like beyond the mental and shit. But we're not going to talk about that shit right now. Niggas not no fucking enlightenment right now. But anyways, you're not going to be a fucking genie. You're not going to be perfect overnight. But you're going to feel better. Because the more you're focused on that present moment, the more you're not thinking about the past, the more you're not thinking about the future. So the more the pain, the emotion, whatever of the past, present, future, nigga said present. But yeah, the more you're focused on this present moment right now, the more you're feeling the pain of the past or the future. You feel me? Or at least you thinking about them. Like the less influence those negative thoughts about the past and the future have on you. So it influences you less. So you feel better because you're more focused on the present. But it's very, very important that you do this shit. It's very important. Because we're talking about anxiety and depression, right? How to deal with your anxiety and depression. And don't be out here trying to take pharmaceuticals for this shit. Because you have to understand, the pharmaceuticals, it doesn't cure it, it treats it. All the pills and the pharmaceuticals and the doctor's going to do is not going to cure this shit. It's going to treat it. Because think about it like this. It's a business. Their job is to make money. So they're gonna obviously try to get you coming back and back and back. You feel me? So they're gonna give you something that treats it, not cure it. Because if they cure it, means you're cured. It's never gonna come back to you. You've dealt with it. Now you can't go back to them, and now they can't keep making money. Because if they solve the problem in you now, how they gonna keep making money? Because you don't need them no more. So how they gonna keep gaining? So they need to treat it, not cure it, temporarily, so you can go back, so they can keep making their money. You feel me? And pharmaceuticals and shit have side effects. It does this, it does that, like Xanax. We all know that Xanax shit is not healthy. It fucks up your brain, makes you all retarded and shit. Obviously, that shit's gonna happen over time, but that shit is not healthy. All them pharmaceutical pills and shit, all them drugs have side effects. Please do your research. Don't just take anything because they told you to. If anything, those pills they be giving y'all could treat it. Yes, it temporarily treat it, but it could treat it while making that shit worse at the same time to get your ass right back in there. Because they're just trying to make $1 off your ass. Nigga, it's a business. It's a business, and they're not trying to help you. You feel me? So don't go that way. Let's go the nature way instead, the natural way. The nature way just means the natural way, nigga. Nigga, nature don't want you doing all this. But yeah, man, you're not gonna get over your anxiety and depression overnight. It's gonna take some time and effort. Your ass gonna have to put in some work. But guess what? You can start now, because it's better to start now than never. So if you're gonna start now, you're gonna need some ways that you can cope with that shit. And these are some good ways. But do research on meditation. I'm not gonna make a whole video on meditation right now. Do your research on meditation and mindfulness. Watch videos, fucking articles. Feel me? See what other people think about it. Reviews. Nigga, that shit will change your life. It's gonna, bro. You're literally taking deep ass breaths for like 5, 6, 10 minutes. Nigga, you're gonna be mad calm. You're gonna be in that sleep state without sleeping. You're gonna be like how you wake up in the morning. It's gonna produce serotonin. If you don't know what serotonin, search it up. The opposite is melatonin. But yeah, meditation, candles, nigga. Light a candle in your crib and that shit smells good. There's candles with smells. Walk out in nature, the beach. Nigga, food. Nigga, we have some food out here that fucking relieve your stress. And if it relieves your stress, it's relieving the stress of the past or the future. But we're not gonna get too deep into that right now. But food relieves your stress. And fucking helps with the anxiety and depression. Cause you are what you eat, right? I know what the food is mostly physical, but yes, it gets into the mind too. Cause the physical also affects the mind too. The mind affects the spiritual. They all affect each other. But like, we're not the same. Like, if we're working in the same place, we're not the same person. We don't do the same things. But what we do at that working place could affect one another. You feel me? Like, if I'm working with you, right, my consequences can not only affect me, but it might affect you too that's working at the job with me. You feel me? Just like that, it's always gonna help out with it. Not directly, like on some, I'm gonna feel this shit right away, but it's gonna help out with it in a way that you're not even gonna know or see. But it shit should be obvious, nigga. You are what you motherfucking eat. And we're gonna tap into that too. We're gonna tap into that. But yeah, man, this is how your ass can start to cope. This is how you can start to cope with your anxiety and depression. And of course, if you want more knowledge on this shit, more videos, go watch more videos, do your research. If you really want it, and plus dealing with your anxiety or starting to deal with your anxiety and depression over time as you do it more and more, you practice more, you relieve it more and more. After a month, your ass gonna feel superhuman, bro. I'm telling you, this shit gonna change, bro. We changing everything, bro. Nigga, we getting all that mental health. No more anxiety and depression. We getting to the we getting to the financial health too. We getting the bag. All the ways to make money. Find your passion. Get into something. You gon' get your bag, bro. Nigga, we learning everything. Everything, nigga. We not only gonna have this shit financially, nigga, we gonna have the mental bag, nigga, the spiritual bag. Nigga, the physical bag, nigga, get healthy with me. What's up? Nigga, I'm out here kinging. Nigga, we should all be out here kinging and queening, nigga. Cause I said so. Let's go. But yeah, man. This is how your ass can start to deal with your anxiety and depression and start to feel better about yourself. And shit, obviously I'm gonna go way deeper into this, and this is the introduction for this whole new story, man. We out.